Hello, I'm Captain Sebti, a recent game dev graduate. This is a new format for me. We're going to be looking at gaming news, trying our hand at it. We're going to be talking about the roadmap for 2026 of ESO. I will link below the live stream, which is the only thing I'm referencing. I'm not referencing other documents throughout this, so if anything's inaccurate, that might be why. But this is just going to be a summary on thoughts of various topics. Before we get started, I would like to remind everybody that the point of this video is just to give opinions and have fun and talk about the game we love to play. So, can we keep the comment section, friendly and about that very concepts? All right, this is gonna cover quick changes. This is really anything that I felt didn't need to be covered in much detail. Frequently in the stream, they kept saying they wanted to listen to more player feedback, and in my opinion, this all these changes really proves that. We got confirmation that Orsinium, Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, Imperial City, and later on Greymore is going to be entering free content for the box price you'd pay for the game. That's great. So this next part is just my theory, but I think we are going to be seeing all of the chapters slowly release, especially because they talked about feeling like players couldn't engage with some content and they didn't like that, or finding it confusing to figure out what content they needed to buy in order to engage with their friends. So I could see them starting to sort of axe having chapters at all, and I think that's kind of the direction they're going to go. That's just my theory. Or see if that's correct. It's not based on anything other than that. What I find exciting though, they said that there's gonna be a new team for dealing with pain points and addressing the community and talking with the community on Reddit and things like that. I don't know why there wasn't an old team to do that. Very happy to hear that they're gonna start addressing these kind of issues. I think that's really good. I think it's gonna be really healthy for the game. All right, and then fast and rapid fire, we are getting free UI respec, 30-day trade windows added back, account-wide outfit slots instead of character-bound. Mount training will be 3 stats per day instead of 1, which I don't really know if that's going to make much of a difference. Some mounts in the crown store are going to be added for gold. We're going to basically get hide helm, but for everything, including chest, armor. Guild names are going to be displayed with player names. We're going to get reduced bank and bag upgrade cost, bag upgrades in the UI, free respec for skills in the UI, quicker crafting, treasure map rework, which is good because I have no idea how this is supposed to work. Then coming later, there's going to be crossplay, guild mail and housing, new user goal to pursuit guide, whatever that means. Guild housing and hybrid alchemy. I don't know what that means either. Guild bank improvements to prevent theft. All right, that is all the stuff that is quick and doesn't need a lot of detail or explanation, but I wanted to mention, and it's all stuff that seems like what players have been asking for, and I haven't seen a lot of people really talking about it, but I'm happy about it. All right, let's talk about housing, because if my guildmates are watching, they want to know about housing. So they confirmed that they're going to be changing some parts of housing. A non-builder might not care. That might be very minor to them, but it's pretty significant. Obviously, as I'm sure you heard, we're going to be getting a furniture increase with ESO Plus members getting more, as we would expect. But that didn't really interest me. What interests me is that they just sort of placed on screen. They mentioned new categories for furniture. I don't know what that could mean. Part of me thinks that might mean the way it's sorted. So maybe we're gonna start calling all the wall pieces different, and they're gonna be in a different count than the furniture, which would save builders a crazy amount. This is just speculation. This is based just on they had an image on screen that said the word new category under the furniture, and I'm widely speculating. I saw some players asking why notable homes are not included and other homes are. They said notable homes are far worse on performance, and they decided to treat them differently, which they hadn't been doing before. They'd been treating them as if all homes had to be treated equally instead of just saying, hey, let's treat the homes that are going to be performance problematic as performance problematic. This is going to be really good because the old housing limit for furniture is beyond depressing. Makes their homes look like they're kind of empty set pieces. The players have been asking for them to help with that. I mean, when you have to cut off rooms in your really expensive houses that have cost you $100 IRL, that's kind of a problem. That's why players are kind of ticked off about it. However, the new change, I'm also not convinced is enough, because these categories will make a difference if they work the way I think they work, but we haven't been told that's how they work. I just assume that's what they were telling us. So they're saying that large homes are going to go from 328 to 415. That is an increase of 87. That's not a crazy amount. I don't also know if that's the increase for ESO Plus members or if that's the increase at base, because they didn't really elaborate on that very well. If anyone has like any more information on that, that's more than what I have, or shows this differently, please comment that. But I really think we need like a 300 increase. Like I think that's what people were asking for, and that's not what we got. But to be fair, they very clearly make it sound like they're still working on it and they're trying to figure out more performance. So I think they want to have more, and they have performance problems. Personally, I think it might be the time to start cutting off um, some lower end systems. It's a 10-year-old game. I don't know that we need to continue with 10-year-old systems into longevity forever, but that's just me. I mean, they did it with Hunt Showdown where they just went, hey, we need to move on, and these older systems are just going to get cut off. Sucks, but like that's what happened, especially if they can do something um like they're doing crossplay now, right? So if they can do something where they're like, hey, all the people who are on like Xbox One, we're pull them over and into like all their stuff, all their expansions that they bought, all that stuff that'll go over to PC or go over to Xbox. What are they? Whatever Xbox version we're on right now, um, and we're go to that, and then all your stuff will follow. But we have to move on from this old system. Like I don't think that would be crazy, but that's just me. Feel free to comment below if you disagree with that, and I think it's probably a valid disagreeing too. But that's just my thoughts on it. All right, and now it's time for everybody's favorite part that definitely doesn't make people extremely angry or excited with zero gradient. It's the start changes. We're gonna talk about the battle pass as well, but after some brief stuff about store changes. So we're gonna see the werewolf and vampire removed from the store, which is shocking, but um, they're gonna do it to avoid confusion, which makes sense because it kind of is asking players to pay for something that looks like an expansion, but it's not. It's just in the game normally. So they're gonna remove that. We're also gonna see vampire cures for 0 crowns in the store. Uh, I also want to add here, just because I don't know where to put it. They're gonna be adding like quests for vampirism and for werewolf into the game to like better direct players and show them that they exist, which is I like it and I think that makes sense. But it's also a little sad because I think the old system was very like classic MMO, even for the time that they made ESO at. It would have been classic. So it's bittersweet, but I understand it. I know why they're making that change. It's not a big deal. It's just like I kind of liked it better where you always had to find a player who would turn you into a vampire and you kind of knew vampires existed, but they're like you're not really sure where they are. But it's also not a great system for new players, so I'm not gonna nostalgia hoard that. They also said they're gonna be removing mimic stones for individual sale. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means they're still gonna be in packs. I kind of assume that's what that means. Uh, Also, I'm gonna again mention here because I mentioned it really briefly before. They are gonna make outfit slots account wide, which a lot of people have been asking for. A lot of people have been confused about. I think it's a good thing that they're doing that. I don't know why it wasn't like that to begin with. I don't know if it means they're going to update the people with existing outfit slots. I hope it does, but that's cool. Largely, it seems like they're just trying to make the store less confusing overall, removing things that confused players in the past, and we'll get into more of that with the battle pass. We're talking about things they're removing and how that's good for the game. All right, let's talk about Battle Pass, baby. This is honestly something that I'm very excited about. But people should approach this without seeing Battle Pass as an ugly word. I know that's how people in gaming see it, but just like be open to the concept here, and I'll explain in detail. This is also going to start with some concerning statements, but again, just bear with me. Get to the end of this, and then make your judgments on if you think this is good or not after it's been broken down. They are removing login rewards, event tickets. They are removing endeavor challenges, not endeavors. They're removing Golden Pursuit challenges, and I don't know fully what they're doing with Golden Pursuit, but they are doing something with it. and they're shifting that loot into the free tier of their battle pass. So we're not really losing this stuff. We're just not having like 5 different challenge boards to do at once with weeklies and dailies. They're also all going to be weeklies now. We're not doing dailies because I think it's too stressful for people, and I would agree with that. Often, like when I'm doing challenges, I end up having to decide, like, oh, am I doing the Golden Pursuit? Am I doing Endeavors? So the idea here is that you're just doing all of it at once, and it's going to be on the Battle Pass. All right, so the new Battle Pass is going to be called Tamriel Tomes. It's going to be replacing chapters, and the chapter content's going to be offered for free. So with battle passes, you're getting free zones. You're getting that what was in chapters for free. We're getting focused on more free updates. We're going to get not always zones every time that we get a season. I don't fully know what we're getting, but it'll be like experimental stuff. They're going to be more willing to try stuff. They're sort of claiming that the problem they were having was because chapters are so expensive to invest in and always have to be these like really big shows because people are paying money for them and things like that, that you're getting sort of all of these other quality of light stuff and other parts of updates not focused on that the game like really needs to focus on because they have to focus on this extra stuff that they need people to buy to keep the game alive, and it like is in turn creating a problem for the game and for players. And also players they think are getting a little formulaic with it, so they wanted to change it to keep it fresh anyways. So this seems like a good option for that. I'm also very pro allowing game companies to experiment. I think it's good for the game, it's good for players. I think also that Bethesda is uniquely good at experimenting. I think they try things a lot. Like if you look at every game Bethesda's made, they're always different from each other. Whereas a lot of companies would be very formulaic with their design. They just seem to change it based on the way they think the market's changed, which is good. I think it's like they're changing to player interests, which I don't think is bad. A lot of stuff is going to be free, and that's the part I want to highlight here is really for the majority of players what's happening is all of the content that they were paying for before is just becoming free content for them. I see a lot of people getting really upset because we're like, oh, it's a battle pass, but most of it's free. And the big content that was in chapters that would have been locked away, like zones or systems, are going to be free now, and that's just going to be good for most people. They actually outlined what we would be getting for free, which was really great of them. We got weapon styles, 8,000 endeavor seals, skill style for vigor. I have no idea what that means. I really hope someone knows what vigor is. I could not tell you. Trade bars, they're a new currency. We get 6 crates for like the crown crates. Furnishings. I also want to say the trade bars are also in premium as well, but they specified that more of them are going to be in the free side of things than in the premium. And they made it sound like they didn't want to put many of them in the premium. They just put some of them in the premium. Which, okay, I will get into what we'd use trade bars for in a second. But I mean, that's good. We're getting a lot of free stuff. We're getting like these challenges that were in like 5 different places, and we're gonna put them in one place. So we are going to be getting the Golden Coast Bazaar, which is going to be a new store type. It's going to be similar to Endeavors, where you are going to be getting points and then using those points to buy various cosmetic items or things that you want from their list. But the difference is going to be that this list is going to be including old items, and it's like almost exclusively old items. There will be new items. There will definitely be new items, but it's going to be old items, and this is really good. It's going to eliminate FOMO, which I think is really good. In my ethics class in my university, we learned about how like FOMO is really like a player negative kind of thing to do, to create in your game. So it's really good to see them like consciously eliminating FOMO. I think that's a really good sign for development and for the sake of this battle pass as well, where usually battle passes rely on FOMO, having them coming in and already focusing on a way to eliminate FOMO. It's really good. Like objectively, I think that's really good. Depends on how it gets implemented, depends on how it gets used. But I think it's really good, and I think it's a really good thing to see them doing. There isn't really much more to say than that on the Golden Coast Bazaar, other than it relates to the Battle Pass in this way. And I don't know if we can gain gold bars doing things outside of the Battle Pass. I am not really sure based on the way they worded that, so I don't really know. And then here we've just got like other stuff. We've got the night market. I don't know anything really about it. They didn't tell us a lot about it. It's a limited area. It's for devs to experiment. It's got a higher difficulty. They're testing higher difficulties, I think, for dungeons or for other areas. They're not testing them for the overworld yet. There's going to be 3 factions in it. I'm really hoping that this difficulty increase isn't just we give enemies more health. I hope that it's like more interesting content, because some of the encounters that they have where this is the case are really good. Like they're really fun. But that's not how they do all their bosses, and I really want to see the evolution of doing more bosses that are like hard to fight because they have unique mechanics, which they can do, and they've done very well before, and I want to see them do more of it. We are getting class reworks in the following order. Dragon Knight, Werewolf, Warden, Sorcerer, Templar, Nightblade, Necromancer, Arcanist. They're getting visually redone. I think they're also getting reworked in some way. They really want to focus on making these classes like pure classes that are useful, so like you can just play them pure classes and give them more class identity, which I think is really good. I don't really have any more notes on that. I don't really know what they plan to do with that. I would kind of like to see Sorcerer made more interesting, because Sorcerer's a little boring. But they're do whatever they're gonna do with that. Um, but this is mainly like a response to multi-classing, obviously, which is what a lot of the I think PvP changes are too, which I'm gonna get to right now. So PvP I'm not very experienced with, but they're adding, they said 3-sided battlegrounds. I thought we already had something like that, but okay. Vengeance is staying, which is fine. Vengeance is, I think, a good system. I'll touch on it in a second. Progress systems for PvP giving cosmetics. We're gonna have faster travel in PvP areas. General tweaking for exploits, fixing some spawn camping stuff, fixing some exploit with some keeps. I don't do PvP, so I assume if you do PvP, these are really significant changes for you, and that's really good. And I'm glad for you. I I don't really do them, so it's not like that for me. I saw PvP players not liking Vengeance, but it's probably how PvP should work in my opinion. Like having modified abilities, because like the balancing of abilities is kind of always a problem where you change something for PvP and it needs to be changed again for PvE. And they like seem to conflict with each other, and it's a problem because it's a PvE game, but I don't want to push PvP players aside and say, no, focus on us, don't worry about them. I just want to say, hey, maybe we just like when we go into PvP, the abilities do something different, and maybe we just list like, oh, in PvP, this ability does this, and it's completely different than what happens in PvE. You know, because they're different games and they shouldn't be treated the same way because they don't operate the same way and they don't have the same stakes. And it's fine to be a little powerful in PvE, and it's not really fine to be a little powerful in PvP. Creates a problem. It's created problems with balancing before. They had to like rebalance vampires a million times and are still going to probably rebalance them again because it's always a problem where PvE players are always like it's too powerful, and PvE players are like it's not powerful enough, and then where do we get to? Nowhere. But that is just the anyways. That's the PvP changes and my weird opinions on PvP. Okay, in my opinion, in the final conclusion, the end of everything, looking at everything, I think there's a really good changes for the games. I think they're listening to players properly. I think they're developing teams to listen to players. I think that they are limiting FOMO. I think that they're cleaning up problems in their marketplace, which I'm actually surprised to see a company do, but I'm really happy to see them do. They're trying new models that allow them to do more of what the community is asking for, and I think overall, the takeaway that players should have from the reveal that we got should be, hey, we're getting a lot of the stuff we were paying for before for free now. Hey, we're getting a lot of the challenges that were all over the place and complicated in one place now, and that sort of thing. And I think that's really good. I think that this update's probably one of the best ones we've had in a long time, and I'm really excited about it. And I hope you are too. Comment below if you're excited for the 2026 changes. If you have a problem with anything I said, I'm reminding you that we're going to be civil in the comments. Very obviously, this is a game, and as much as this is, very important for a lot of people, and that's fine, we don't need to be, yelling and screaming at each other. That's not productive. It's not helpful. It's not what we need. If you have thoughts on the game as well, I know that they said that they're looking through the Reddit, so that seems like a good place to go. As much as it's not usually the case in this one, it seems like it's the case that like Reddit or other places are a good place to go. But please, um, discuss below what you think on the new update. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Follow me on Twitch for definitely more frequent content. And I will see you guys again if you stick around. Have yourselves a good morning, a midday, night, whatever, wherever you are.